Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be unboxing and sharing a first impressions review of the new Chanel Sublimage Le Correcteur Yeux. This is the new Chanel concealer. I'm so excited. It says Radiance Generating Concealing Eye Care. And I picked up shade 10. There are 10 shades available. I was able to get this a little bit early from my local beauty boutique. I checked right before I sat down to film. It looks like it is not currently available on Chanel.com just yet. If you search for concealer, it does pop up as an option, but then when you go to click the page, it tells you the page is not available. So I have a feeling Chanel's probably trying to slow roll all of these new launches so that they don't bring too much traffic to the website. I have a feeling we're going to see this launch officially on November 1st, which was the original date I was told. I will keep you updated. As soon as it's available, I will post on Instagram stories. I will update the description box. I will let you know. But just a reminder, this is not a limited edition holiday launch. You don't have to feel that stress, that anxiety to shop instantly as soon as it launches on the website. This is a new concealer. It's going to be part of the Sublimage line, so I don't want anybody to feel that any stress. This should be a stress-free concealer purchase. Now, because there's no product page, I wasn't able to pull up any additional information for you. I was hoping there would be a little pamphlet in the box. There isn't, but that's okay. It says that this is a radiance generating concealing eye care, comforting cream texture, perfecting effect, hydration and protection, and a precision brush. So inside the box you do get the cutest little Barbie sized concealer brush I've ever seen. Comes with this little black slip. So this looks very cute. Of course, all of the Sublimage products come with their own individual brush. And then you have a little spatula, which I'm going to do my best to hold on to. I wish there was some sort of little pocket attached to this so you could store the spatula and the brush. I always end up losing these things, and with the concealer, they're even tinier. This is the size of the concealer jar. It contains 10 grams or 0.35 ounces of product. And I just checked my receipt. It is $95 for the concealer versus I believe $140 for the foundation, which comes with a full 1 ounce. So this is 30 grams, this is 10 grams. You get 1/3 of the product. I picked up shade 10. That's the shade that I normally wear in the Chanel correctors. I'm usually a 10 in concealer and then a 30 in foundation because I like my concealer to be a little bit brighter beneath the eye. I will say in my experience, the Sublimage foundation runs a little bit light, so I probably could wear maybe a 40. I've worn a 50 in the past. That was a little bit too dark, but you can go up a shade in the foundation. I'm not sure if that's true with the concealer. I tried a teeny tiny bit on the back of my hand. I was able to see the samples of shade 10 and 20, and it looks very sheer, like incredibly lightweight, just a very sheer concealer. So I'm curious to see what this is actually going to look like on the face on top of my foundation. Oh wow, this actually looks a lot more opaque than the sample in store. I don't know if the sample was different or maybe I took such a teeny tiny bit just to see the shade. But this actually looks like a real concealer. Okay, that makes me happy because I was actually nervous when I swatched a teeny tiny bit in store. I thought, oh no, this is going to disappear into the skin and it's going to be nothing for $95. But nope, this is looking really good. To properly test this concealer, you know we have to do a full face of Sublimage, so I'm starting with the Sublimage Le Perfecteur. This is a beautiful primer. The texture is very lightweight, and I love the kind of champagne gold luminosity it leaves on the skin. Next, I'm going in with the Sublimage Le Tint Foundation, and again, I wear shade B30, which usually works for me whether I've sunless tanned or not. I did tan last night. I have a little color to my skin, not my face. I'm just blending this out with a Sephora Pro 56 brush. And since department stores also carry the Sublimage line, I imagine that pretty soon this concealer will also roll out to all of the department stores, like Nordstrom, Saks should carry it. I'm not sure if they're going to get the new holiday gift bags. I know those have been such a hot commodity this year. If possible, this year they sold out even faster than any previous year. Just really unbelievable. I did share all of the links as soon as I saw them. And I'm going to continue to update you if they do a restock. Right now, they are searchable on Chanel.com, whereas before they weren't. They were sort of hidden. So now if you look under new launches, you can see all of the gift sets, but they're grayed out and it says you can't pre-order. I'm so happy that some of you were able to get your hands on the sets you wanted, but I know there are still a lot of people who missed out. So I will do my best to get more information for you. If you are really in love with the tweed bags, I will tell you right now so you can mark your calendars and be on the lookout. Black Friday and Cyber Monday, Chanel is launching a new item again. They've been doing this for the past few years, and it's going to be a little gift set that comes in the tweed bag. I will find out the color and the contents because that I don't remember. I believe it's fragrance. One of them is a Bleu de Chanel, but if you just really love the bag, you could always give that away to somebody. Going back in the jar of our Le Correcteur Yeux from Chanel. I'm going to take a teeny tiny bit. These jars make me so nervous. God forbid it drops or spills or something, all of the product would be on the floor. So I'm going to take a teeny tiny bit. And I'm just going to do 3 dots. We'll start there. It's a little bit messy. I can't get over how cute this little brush is. Okay, it's actually the perfect size. Oh wow, that is very brightening. And pretty good coverage. I don't know why I thought it was going to have no coverage when I tried it on the back of my hand. Right now, I am loving any makeup product that also contains treatment because my skin has been so dry. I've been using a lot of active skincare. I just received a prescription from my dermatologist for a tretinoin, which I think should be a little bit less abrasive than the retinol from Obagi I was using, which has worked really well, but it's kind of wreaking havoc on my skin. That is the point. Have a lot of cell turnover, but I kind of feel like a snake. I'm shedding my skin every day. Went on really nicely. This brush works really well. It's not full coverage. I would say it's a medium coverage concealer. Doesn't look heavy under the eye, which is nice. Of course, I just applied it. So far, it's looking really pretty. I'm going to scoot in a little bit closer so you can see the difference. Concealer, no concealer. Same thing on the other side. It looks very natural. I think if you like a very light, minimal, no makeup, this would be a great concealer because you could go in with just a teeny tiny bit. I tried to apply a little bit less product on this side. Brightening, gives glow and radiance. Starting to dry down over here, no signs of creasing. Maybe a little bit right underneath the eye, which is normal. Going in with just a teeny bit more to highlight the rest of the face. I don't want to waste anything on this little spatula. This is the only thing that makes me a little bit nervous. You just have to be super careful with these little jars. Ooh, that's actually way too much. See, this came out of the seal of the jar when I tried to close it, and that's easily a full application right there. I don't have anywhere to add it. I did my best not to waste any. That's always been my one complaint with the Sublimage foundation. My only complaint is that it comes in the jar, which is just not incredibly convenient. It has skincare ingredients, but every time you open it up, you're exposing the entire jar to oxygen. So I'm not sure how active those ingredients can really be over time. If you're constantly opening it up, I guess it's not really different than a concealer tube, but at least with the tube, the hole at the top is very small. With the jar, it's just wide open. When they come out with a Lift concealer, which they've had in the past, and I'm sure they will at some point in the future, I have no idea when, hopefully they will keep it in a pump. Complexion is looking very bright at the moment since we highlighted the under eye, center points of the face. This is before bronzer, obviously, so it's looking very bright, but I think it looks very smooth. I like the finish. No signs of creasing. It's not overly greasy, dewy. Like sometimes a Radiance foundation or a Radiance concealer can be so sticky and tacky that it just creases and it never really dries down to a beautiful finish. But this looks perfect. I pulled out my Soleil de Chanel cream bronzer because this has been discontinued for a while now and I'm desperate to go through it, but it's basically the same thing as the Le Beige cream bronzer. The shade is very close to 390. It's so easy to blend. It has such a natural color. Going back with my concealer brush to make sure the bronzer doesn't go up too high. I actually really like this little brush. No, it's probably not going to be a big selling point of the concealer, but it does work really nicely, considering how small it is. It does the trick. For blush, I'm going to use the Le Beige Water Fresh blush in the shade Intense Coral. These are so light that the Intense Coral is really the only shade that shows up on me. I just pumped a little on the back of my hand and I'm kind of breaking up the little pigments with my brush. I haven't used these blushes very much, but I do find that this is the best way to apply them. So you can see that definitely has color to it. I think Warm Pink is the other shade I picked up. It's very nice, but it is so light. I'm still getting those very teeny tiny creases right under the eye. I think that's because I need to set with powder. So now I'm going to go in with the Chanel Loose powder and just set a teeny tiny bit beneath the eye. Doing a little bit on the center of the forehead, nose, chin. With a teeny tiny bit of powder, that's all I applied, the concealer looks perfect. Does not look dry. Everything looks kind of just set in place like it's not going to budge. I quickly filled in my eyebrows off camera and I did a little bronze eyeliner in the waterline just because it was handy. And I pulled out the 01 Tweed Kierva eyeshadow palette. I'm going to do something really light and basic on the eyes. Today's video is more about the complexion, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm going to do. So with a fluffy brush, I'm just going into this shade right here and I'm going to dust a little bit of this in the crease. Nothing too complex today. I've honestly been so distracted. I'm listening through Taylor Swift's new album, Midnights. So every time I take a break, I turn on the music in the background while I get ready. It's so good. For all of my Taylor Swift fans, this is a big day for us. I don't want it to be too dark, so as soon as I lay down the color, I'm just going right on top and kind of softening the shadow. I think of all of the Tweed eyeshadow palettes, Brunei Rose is probably my favorite, but by a smidge. This would be my second favorite. Using a little flat brush, this is actually a Rephr 02 brush, I'm going to buff that beneath the lower lash line. I also pulled out my Eclat Lunaire or Rose highlighting powder, and using my finger, I'm just going to pop that on the lid. Doesn't have to be super precise. Doing a pretty basic neutral eye, but the colors are looking really pretty. I pulled out this little Lion de Chanel single eyeshadow. This is the Ombre Premier Longwear Powder Eyeshadow in the shade 905 Electrum Lame. Do you remember this? Sadly, it's been discontinued, but it's one of my favorite holiday products that Chanel ever came out with. It's so pretty. as a highlight. You could pop this on the lid, use it as an inner corner highlight, brow highlight, and that's what I'm doing right now. With a little eyeliner brush, I'm just going to pop this in the tear duct, and it gives such a subtle pop, but it really brightens up the entire look. And then I'm going to apply that right beneath the brow bone. I don't really feel like pulling out any other product, so I'm going to very lightly diffuse that on the top of the cheek and use it as a highlight as well. Just a little bit. It leaves such a pretty champagne gold sheen. For eyeliner on the top lash line, I'm going in with my Huda Beauty Lifeliner Quick and Easy Very Brown, and I'm going to use my Gucci mascara because I'm almost done with it. And I'll come back, we'll finish lips, and that will be the end of the makeup look. Eyes are done, I'm just going to quickly finish the lips. I went ahead and lined and filled them in a little bit with the Pink Venus Lip Cheat from Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm going to use the shade 196 A Demi Mo lipstick from Chanel. This is one of their new fall nudes. All of them are really pretty. And then I do want just a little gloss. So this just happened to be at my station. This is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump in the shade White Peach. Whoop. The little eye brushes went flying. So this just adds a little shine, and it is slightly minty, so it kind of feels like they're plumping up. And this is the complete makeup look for the day, testing our new concealer, the Sublimage Le Correcteur Yeux from Chanel, shade 10. I'm going to look in the mirror quickly, but I've been kind of keeping a close eye throughout the entire makeup process, and I think it looks great. It looks amazing. I don't know if it's my favorite concealer. I would say this is very good. It's probably in the running as being one of the best new concealers, but there have been a lot of really strong concealers launched recently. And of course, this is a very initial impression. I've had it on for a while now because I've been taking my time doing my makeup, but I will pin a comment if I notice anything different throughout the day, and I'm going to keep my eye on it, and I will also be doing a full wear test. Let's talk about the immediate pros and cons of the concealer. One of the pros is that it looks really beautiful. It has great coverage, doesn't seem to crease. At least it hasn't yet, and I think the finish is very natural, not overly radiant and greasy in that it's just never going to dry down and it's going to keep creasing on you. So I think this concealer will work really nicely for anybody with dry skin, but it's also going to work really nicely for anybody with normal skin, I think oily skin. Basically all skin types can use this concealer, so that's a plus. I like the fact that it comes with a little brush that is really good. I applied with this brush. Usually I kind of apply the product with the applicator just on camera just to show you, but this I'm actually going to keep. I will make sure that I hold on to this so that I can apply it with the brush in the future because this works really great. It's a nice added benefit. It wouldn't be a selling point of the concealer for me. It has skincare ingredients, which is amazing. We always love those extra yummy ingredients for the skin. But now we get to the cons. It comes in this jar, so you're opening this up and you're exposing all of the product to oxygen every time you open it up. So I'm not really convinced that the skincare ingredients are going to have that much efficacy over time. We'll see. I'm obviously going to keep using it. I don't like the jar because it's not functional and I think it's very messy. And I have the same complaints about the foundation as well. They look beautiful, it feels weighted, it's class, it's very luxurious, very on brand for Chanel and the elevated line of Sublimage. However, in life, in my everyday life, do I reach for my Sublimage jar? Not that often, and it's not because I don't like the foundation. I probably would have gone through this jar already because I bought this a while ago. I would be done with this foundation if it came in a pump because I really like it. It's just not that convenient. It seems like a really small thing, but in practice, it's not a small thing because when you're rushing in the morning, not that I'm always rushing like a chicken with my head cut off, but just, you're normally getting ready for the day because you have somewhere to go. If there's a product that takes you even 10, 20 extra seconds, or you have to, unscrew the top, make sure you lay it somewhere so that it doesn't fall on the floor. Very carefully take the plastic protector. These things do make a difference. Just subconsciously, I don't grab for products that add a little drama to my routine. Not the worst thing in the world, but just something I know about myself, and maybe this is a personal complaint. I'm not a huge fan of the jar. I wish they could come out with some sort of elegance pump, like the primer. This is amazing. I keep this in the top drawer and it's easy to use. The price is pretty steep at $95. I don't think it's unreasonable. It seems to be kind of in line with other luxury high-end skincare concealers like the Tom Ford, I want to say, is about $100. I would recommend trying a sample if you can. I know that's going to be difficult online, but if you live near a beauty boutique, or if you wait until this rolls out to department stores, try a sample or have a sales associate apply a little bit on your under eye, wear it for a day, and just make sure it really works for you. Do I really like it? Yes. I think it looks beautiful. I like the coverage. I like the finish. Would I recommend it? Also, yes. I don't really have any complaints except for the jar and the price point. But is it immediately my favorite concealer? Is it immediately the best concealer I've ever worn? No, it's not. I really had a strong reaction whenever I tried the new Charlotte Tilbury concealer. I think I liked that one a little bit more initially than I like this one. So we'll see. I'm going to keep wearing it. I'm going to pin a comment if I notice anything throughout the day, and I will be doing a full wear test sometime very soon. So just as an initial review, I think it's beautiful. It goes really nicely with the Sublimage skincare line. So if you love Sublimage and that is your skincare, it's your foundation of choice, then I think this is an easy purchase for you. Otherwise, I think you can probably wait. I'm going to do one last mirror check, looking up close. It does look really good. No complaints at all. It feels really supple. It looks a little bit matte since I set with powder, but it doesn't feel matte. It feels very soft. So the skin still feels hydrated. And that completes today's initial review. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you found this video helpful. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be listed down in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.